Hey everybody, it's Noreen Macdonald from Natural Living. Welcome back. So today, or first of all, I'll explain who I am. I'm a naturopath and bioresonance therapist and neuro-emotional technique practitioner, amongst other things. And here in my clinic, which is located in Nelson, New Zealand, I help people to heal. Today I want to talk about immunity because at the moment there are a whole heap of people that are going down sick with colds and flus and tummy bugs and all those winter yuckness. So lots of people are feeling pretty crap. And it's really important that you build your immunity. And how do we do that? That's the biggest question I get asked. I've got an 8-year-old son, and lots of parents out there unfortunately are getting affected by going to work. They're either sick themselves, so they're not getting paid, or else their kids are sick and they're needing to take days off work. How do we boost our immunity and why? Well, first of all, mainstream medicine will function sort of like this. You'll get a cold, you'll go to the doctor, you'll get a round of antibiotics, you'll hope to hell that they're the right antibiotics to wipe out the bugs in your body. Now, unfortunately with that, the antibiotic has to be really specific for the exact bacteria that is causing the cold, and B, if it's a virus, which quite often it is, like an influenza virus, etc., antibiotics won't touch them. And somebody said to me yesterday, why do you think we are getting more sick? Like even with the flu vaccine around, why are people going down with really serious flus and colds? And my answer to that is that from the overuse of antibiotics over the years, we have now developed superbugs which are very resistant to the antibiotics that are out there, and they're getting stronger. In addition to that, people are generally more stressed, including our children, and nutritionally deficient. So we've got this combination that isn't great for our immunity. So today I'm going to discuss with you how you can boost your immunity and your children's immunity. So first thing I'm going to talk about is what to avoid. And when your child is sick or when you are sick, probably one of the worst foods for you to be having is dairy. And when I mean dairy, I'm talking about mainstream dairy, which is pasteurized and homogenized. It has been totally changed. The original product of what the cow's milk once was, through that process of pasteurization and homogenization, we have a very different product. And that product isn't doing your lymphatic system any favors. So if you're not familiar, your lymphatic system is a system of vessels through your body. You have obviously your blood vessels, and you have your heart, which pumps blood through those arteries and veins and capillaries. And you have another set of vessels, which is called your lymphatic system. And I kind of liken it to the kitchen sieve. So it's the sieve of the body. It's trapping any bacteria or viruses or things that the body kind of doesn't want to have inside of it. And it traps them in the immune system, your white blood cells and all your little army of helpers. They come along and destroy whatever's trapped in the lymphatic system. So it's the drainage system of the body, and it's really important that the lymphatic system is working well so that the bugs get caught and destroyed. Now, dairy, unfortunately, congests the lymphatic system, and 80% of your lymphatic system is actually located in your gut. So when we're having a lot of dairy products, that's lots of cheese, lots of milk, lots of ice cream, the lymphatic system can become clogged in the gut, which means it can't work as well as it should, which then starts to affect the systemic lymphatic system. Now, you probably notice if you get sick, your glands go up, and that's because that simple fact is the lymphatic system is trapping those bugs and your immune system is trying to actually fight them off. So in fact, when you get that lymphatic swelling, it's actually a good sign that the body's trying to do something. So avoid dairy products, please, especially for your children. If they're sick at home, don't give them Milo with milk. Don't give them ice cream if they've got a sore throat. It's okay to give them like sorbets, things that are based on ice cream. So I've got a Thermomix at home, and I just blend up fresh frozen berries, and it works just so well without the dairy and the extra added refined sugar. The other thing to avoid is sugar, and I'm talking refined sugar. So again, for your children, don't feed them up on sweets because it affects their immunity as well. Let's talk about what you can add into the diet. So number one is water. and really important for your kids as well. And I know in winter when you're sick you probably don't feel like drinking water, but I would really recommend that you just get out your thermos and just drink warm water all day long. Whenever you're sick, whenever your kids are sick, just keep hydrating them, because we are 80 to 90% water in our bodies, and we need to just flush those toxins through. Number 2, garlic. So garlic is nature's anti everything. It's nature's antibiotic. So garlic is antibacterial, antiviral, which, remember what we said, antibiotics don't touch viruses, garlic does, antiparasitic, antifungal. So garlic is amazing for the body. And what we do if our son starts to feel sick, because he won't just swallow the garlic because he can taste it, is we just get a capsule and we empty it out and we cut the garlic up and we put a tiny slither of garlic inside the capsule and he swallows the capsule. Obviously harder if your child's younger and can't swallow capsules, but you can definitely cook with heaps of garlic. And as an adult, I just chop up a clove and just swallow it. And you know what? Who really cares if you smell? I don't think garlic's offensive, but when you're sick, you're not really going around people anyway. So garlic's number 2. Number 3, lemons. Lemons is nature's natural vitamin C booster. So just get lemons into you and into your children as much as possible, whether it's freshly squeezed lemon in warm water. You can add a big teaspoon of Manuka honey. So again, Manuka honey, really high. Again, a beautiful product from nature that helps to boost our immunity in a natural way. So if your child's got a sore throat, just get some Manuka honey and let them suck on that teaspoon. For adults, I would make a tonic with Manuka honey and hot water, lemon, fresh lemon, and go into your garden, your herb garden. Hopefully you've got one, a little sprig of thyme, a couple of sage leaves, and you've got an amazing tonic for sore throats. D, you're going to add in juices. So fresh juices for kids that don't feel like eating food or have a sore throat that they can't eat. Get out your juicer and juice up carrots, celery, beetroot. Chuck a little bit of ginger in there for a bit of warmth, just because it's cold and we don't want to put more cold things into the body. You can put some fruit in there, some pineapple perhaps, or some oranges, again quite high in vitamin C, and just get them to sip that, and you'll find that most kids absolutely love fresh juice, and when they're off food, that's such a good way to get some great nutrition into them. E, broths. So get out your stock pot, get out your crock pot, whatever it is you've got, and go down to the supermarket, try and find some organic bones and make a bone broth. And that is super simple as well. It's just filtered water, bones. You can cut up onions, carrots, celery, put a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in, turn it on high. Once it comes to the boil, turn it on low. I do it outside because it gets quite smelly. In a shed or in your laundry, etc., and just let that simmer for up to 24 hours. All of the minerals and all the gelatin and the goodness that actually helps to heal your gut, which is really, really connected to your immune system, is going to go into that broth. So you just strain it off and you can actually freeze it down into ice cube molds and just pop them out as needed. So make your soups out of the broth. You might need to add some beautiful miso or some hopefully homemade stock, or at least high quality stock instead of the crap that you buy in the little cubes. And just make your soups with the base of that, knowing that your family's getting that goodness into them. Obviously you can put garlic in there as well. F, fermented foods. So what are those sorts of things? Kefir, kombucha, lacto-fermented vegetables, sauerkraut, anything sourdough, anything where it's got natural bacteria that's going to help to recolonize your gut with those friendly bacteria that are going to go to work with your immune system, is fantastic on a daily basis, but also when you're sick. So you can look those things up. There's plenty of resources on the internet now on how to make those things. Personally for me, my 8-year-old won't do lacto-fermented vegetables or sauerkraut. He will do kombucha and he will do kefir. G, rest. That's really, really obvious. But quite often when your kids are sick, you sort of hold them up in bed and they've got this device and this screen that they're staring at all day long. Well, when I was a kid and we were sick, we were bundled up into bed, we'd given a book, and you know what? That's not a bad idea, because the devices emit electromagnetic frequencies, which is a frequency that isn't great for our health. It's very draining. You may have noticed your child when they've gone on a device, when they get off, they could have flushed cheeks, they can be quite irritable, and their brain is overstimulated with what they're watching. You know, they're really into these games, and yeah, they serve a purpose, but let's have some time limits, even when they're at home sick. H, cuddles. Lots and lots and lots of cuddles. So there's nothing like touch for the human being to feel better and to go into this state where they're feeling very nourished, and that's going to actually help their immunity as well. So taking that time out to cuddle them is really important. Also a diffuser. So you might see this kind of thing in the background. I'll try and lift it up. There it is. It's just a vaporizer or a diffuser that I've got going here. Essential oils are amazing for the body, and as soon as any of us starts to feel a little bit unwell, I get the vaporizer out straight away. That's probably the first thing I do. Now there's lots of essential oils that you can vaporize, that is going to go through the air. You can put them on the body, you can put them on the feet, and they cover all the reflexology zones, which is all the organs through the feet. There's so many brands out there. Personally, I like the doTERRA oils. Some people don't like them, some people do. I love them. I think they are pure and they are activators for the body. So some ideas on what you can be vaporizing, and write these down. Frankincense, lemon, oregano are all three excellent ones for the flu. Now doTERRA also do one called On Guard, which is my absolute go-to for any type of illnesses at all. It just almost just wipes them out. And then on top of that, for colds, eucalyptus and tea tree are another few good options. So go and buy yourself a vaporizer if you don't have one, and if you don't have a little set of oils, go and get your first aid oils. Now I'm going to be offering some specials through my website shortly, so keep your eye on my website www.naturalliving.co.nz. I'm going to be bringing out a natural first aid kit, which will have oils all in a little package, and I will also be having a natural first aid kit with homeopathics. We'll talk about that in a minute. So you can use them on the body as well, don't forget that. Honestly, it's my first and foremost go-to is essential oils. Supplementation. So what can you supplement with? Obviously vitamin C, as you know, is really good. You can take it every 1,000 milligrams until every 2 hours, until you notice the bowel movements change. Personally, for me, I don't like taking isolated vitamins and minerals, and so we don't do that as a family. I always rely on nature's apothecary, which, as I mentioned before, is the garlics and the lemons and the juices. But yeah, that's up to you. Go and explore vitamin C, explore zinc as well. Again, as a family, we don't take it. We eat pumpkin seeds, and that gives us some zinc. I use this product, it's called Juice Plus. I really love it. Some people don't like it because of the way it's sold, but I didn't let that stop me. It's multi-level marketing, but the product is very good. So what it is fruits and vegetables, and again, it's nature's apothecary. It's grown to full maturity in the plant, it's juiced, and then put into its basically freeze dried, and so you're left with a whole food concentrate powder and put into a vegan capsule. So my whole family is on this, and to be honest, this is the first winter we've actually gone down in 4 years with a cold. So that really keeps us healthy. Reach out to me if you want to know any more about that. The other thing is herbal medicine. You know, again, nature has got the gifts for us here. There is a ton of different herbs that you can take to boost your immunity. You might want to go and see your local herbalist. Most health food shops now have got a herbal dispensary. The only issue that I have is most adults can handle taking herbal tinctures. Lots of kids won't take them because they taste pretty disgusting. A couple of options here in New Zealand are the Harker herbals. So Malcolm Harker, Harker, Malcolm Harker herbals. They do a whole range of things that most kids can tolerate. They do some really great lung support, ear, nose, throat support. Go and have a look at your local health food shop. Again, I'm going to be stocking that on my website shortly. And also Kiwi herb in New Zealand. They do a really good echinacea. For kids, it tastes really yummy. You can give it to younger kids as well, like little infants. They do a good cough syrup and also a de-stuff for the nose. And you know, it's all natural. It's such a good help for kids when they're sick, and adults. The other thing to supplement is probiotics. So yeah, you might be eating fermented foods, but especially if you have had antibiotic, it's really important to re-inoculate your bowel with the good friendly bacteria in a probiotic. There's lots on the market. I recommend BioCult, BIO-KULT. Have a look. It was developed by Dr. Natasha McBride, who is the developer of the GAPS diet. She really knows her stuff. So I would definitely recommend supplementing with a probiotic to prevent illness, but also when you are sick. And you can open up the capsules and put it into a bit of coconut yogurt or something for your kids. Just get it into them any way you can. Now, when you're in an acute phase of illness, like a cold or flu hits, for example, last night my son had a really high fever. And you know, I know what it's like. We don't have Pamol at home. We don't use drugs. When he was young and he was teething, we tried it and he reacts to Pamol and Nurofen. And again, nature has got the gifts. Natural medicine has got its own way of helping the body. Now, a fever is a positive response of the body. It means the body's actually burning up to burn off bacteria and viruses. So there's a bit of scaremongering out there about, you know, fevers. I mean, he was hot, but he wasn't absolutely ridiculously hot. So I knew he was okay. But I use homeopathic remedies, and I'm going to teach you the ABC. So A stands for aconite, ACONITE. B for belladonna, BELLAD, Bella, BELLADONNA, and C stands for chamomile. So A, B, C, they're my first remedies that I'll reach for in terms of homeopathics when something's going on. So aconite is like fast acting. When a cold comes on, all of a sudden they're hot, they're restless. So that was perfect for him last night. I gave him a little pilule. I don't have any here, but those little white ball bearing things, that's what homeopathics can look like, or they can come in a liquid form. Popped it under his tongue and I just let it dissolve. About 15 minutes later, I reached for the belladonna. Again, belladonna is for fevers, but you can Google what these things are specifically for if you want to know more. I gave him a belladonna under his tongue. I put a cold compress on his forehead and on his neck just to try and help a little bit to soothe him. And I'm not even joking you, within about 15 more minutes, he had definitely cooled down. Then I gave him another aconite and another belladonna, 15 minutes apart. The chamomile is also good, but he wasn't clingy and like kind of wanting me but not wanting me. He just was a definite aconite and belladonna kid last night. So watch this space. Again, please go onto my website and subscribe to my newsletter, because I'm going to be doing lots more updates. And again, I mentioned I'm going to bring out a homeopathic first aid kit, which is honestly in the middle of the night last night, I was like, okay, what have I got? I've got my oils and I've got my homeopathics. Bingo. So I really hope that that's helped you to understand that you can boost your immunity, you can treat colds and flus in a really natural way that just makes you feel good, and it isn't putting a ton of drugs or antibiotics into your system or into your children's system. Please comment below, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be bringing out a lot more videos about health, healing, natural medicine, and thanks so much for listening. www.naturalliving.co.nz. Bye.